Marie Curie was not born into greatness. She was born into poverty. In a small apartment in Warsaw, in the year 1867, a quiet girl named Maria Sklodowska grew up surrounded by books and loss. Her mother died when she was only 11 years old. Her family struggled to survive. And in her country, women were forbidden to study at university. But Maria had one dangerous dream. She wanted to become a scientist. At a time when women were told to stay silent, she chose to fight. She studied in secret. At night. By candlelight. While working during the day to support her family. Years later, with almost no money, she left her homeland and traveled alone to Paris. She did not speak the language well. She lived in freezing rooms. She often went hungry. But inside her mind burned a fire stronger than fear. At the Sorbonne University, she studied physics and mathematics with unmatched dedication. Her classmates noticed something strange. This young woman never stopped working. And soon, fate placed someone important in her path. A quiet French scientist named Pierre Curie. Together, they would open a door to a force invisible to the human eye. A force that Pierre Curie was different. He was quiet. Focused. Obsessed with science, just like Maria. They spoke for hours about physics, experiments, and the mysteries of nature. Soon, their minds connected. And then, their hearts. They married. But instead of a luxurious honeymoon, they chose a laboratory. Together, they began studying a strange phenomenon discovered by another scientist, invisible rays coming from uranium. Maria became obsessed. She measured. Tested. Repeated experiments thousands of times. And then, she noticed something impossible. Certain minerals were emitting more energy than uranium itself. This meant only one thing. There was something new inside them. Something unknown. Working day and night in a cold, broken laboratory, they processed tons of heavy rocks by hand. Stirring boiling chemicals. Breathing toxic vapors. Their hands burned. Their skin cracked. But they did not stop. And finally, they discovered two new elements. One they named polonium, after Maria's homeland. The other, they called radium. A substance that glowed in the dark. A substance that released invisible energy. The world had just met. Radioactivity. And Maria Sklodowska became Marie Curie. The woman who opened a new era in science. The discovery shocked the scientific world. No one had ever seen anything like radium before. Doctors believed it could cure cancer. Factories wanted to use it in products. Scientists everywhere talked about one name. Curie. But fame did not come to Maria. It came first, to Pierre. In 1903, the Nobel Committee announced their decision. The Nobel Prize in Physics would go to Pierre Curie. And another male scientist. Maria's name was missing. The woman who had done half the work was invisible. But Pierre refused to accept it. He wrote a letter. He demanded that Maria's name be added. And only then, the Nobel Committee changed its decision. For the first time in history, a woman won the Nobel Prize in Physics. Marie Curie. But success brought a new problem. Journalists followed her everywhere. People wanted interviews, photographs, autographs. She hated it. She wanted only one thing. To return to her laboratory. To continue her work. Because deep inside, she knew. This discovery was only the beginning. Much bigger discoveries were waiting. And much darker tragedies were coming. In 1906, everything changed. One rainy afternoon in Paris. Pierre Curie was walking across a busy street. Distracted. Lost in thought. Suddenly, a heavy horse-drawn carriage appeared. Pierre slipped. He fell. The wheels crushed his head. He died instantly. Just like that. No goodbye. No final words. No warning. Marie was 38 years old. And suddenly, she was alone. With two small daughters. With unfinished experiments. With a broken heart. For days. She could not speak. Could not cry. Could not move. Her world had collapsed. But something strange happened. Instead of giving up, she returned to the laboratory. The place where Pierre was still alive. In memories. In notebooks. In unfinished work. And then, history changed again. The University of Paris made a decision. For the first time ever, a woman became a professor. Marie Curie replaced her own husband. Standing in the same classroom. At the same desk. Teaching the same students. But now, she was not Pierre's wife. She was Professor Marie Curie. And she was about to make the greatest discovery of her life. One that would change medicine. And cost her everything. Fame finally arrived. In 1911. Marie Curie did the impossible. She won the Nobel Prize. Again. 2 Nobel Prizes. In 2 different sciences. The first person in history to ever achieve this. The world called her a genius. A legend. A miracle. But behind the applause, something invisible was killing her. For years, Marie worked with radioactive materials. No gloves. No protection. No warning. She carried test tubes in her pockets. Kept glowing samples on her desk. At night, her laboratory glowed in the dark. Beautiful. Deadly.